Designing your blog. Okay, this would be pretty important in all phases. You know, even if you have a website, you still have to, you know, it's a matter of design. What does the thing look like? Okay, so you want it to have it. You want your site to be well organized and have something called an eye trail. Okay. That means essentially that you start here, and the next thing takes you there, and it takes you through here. You know, so your eye has some place to go that makes sense. You don't want to have something here and something here and something here and something here. And I'll have some examples in which you'll be able to see the difference between a site that actually has some good design and a site that sort of looks like borscht, I guess. I don't know. But, because yes, you know, there's a lot of top bloggers out there that have so much info on their sites that you have to really work at finding the data you want. And I mean, some people like to do that. I like being able to, you know, it's comfortable. I like the white space. I like being able to look at a site and then scan through it, or use a, you know, using the edit term, you know, find a term, you know, within that page that I can use. I do not like to be assaulted. I have a very high sensibility on aesthetics. And if something is a mishmash, I am not going to look at that page. Right? If there's too much stuff on the page, it's not going to load fast. And I have no patience. So I am not going to wait for this slow-moving site to load. How many of you really like waiting for a site to load? Okay, right? My point exactly. So here are a few well-designed blogs. I say they're well-designed because they won awards. People voted for them. There's a number of different ones. These are the ones that I just happen to have picked because they're clean. They have a nice flow to them. Their colors are pleasing. There's something that's exciting, like the babyology. I mean, it's fun in kids and colors. Right? So it communicates a lot of a fun thing. You know, you've got something with Our World 2.0, and it's a very clean, it's an inviting looking site. Okay, and that's one of the reasons. And they're all on your sheets, you know, so you can look at them there as well. Okay, you know, this is 4 of Time's 25 best blogs in 2009. They're easy to read. They're easy to see. There's Mashable. That's a great site, by the way. You know, if you ever really want to find all kinds of information, Mashable really has got some great stuff going on. You see how it flows. Be an echo consultant, and it goes got to be green, and then it goes down to seize the green, and your eye goes over the words. See how that works? That's an eye trail. Okay. Important. An example of a not-so-great blog. What you don't want your blog to look like. Scary, isn't it? You know you're doing well if it doesn't look like this. Scary. Okay. So, elements. There are actually elements, pieces that you use in a blog. Okay? So they're broken down, and these are like, there is categories. Like if you had a landscaping business, your categories could be how-to tips. Okay? Plant knowledge, seasonal information. Okay? Construction-wise, you know, it could be when's the best time, you know, tips on building, when to build. Okay, you know, obviously, if you live in Colorado, you know nothing gets built there in the winter. Everything is covered with plastic, and then it's spring, and they start building again. Okay? Your blog should include static pages that regard contact information, maybe any pricing that you've got. Okay, a static page means it's always there. For Blogger, it would be actually one of those text boxes. Okay, because if you remember on Blogger, you had you know, the big block that had your blog on it, and on the right-hand side they had all these like text, picture, all these other little gadgety things. You can use those as static pages because Blogger does not allow you to have, well, it's really hard to figure it out, so don't even think about it. But on Blogger, they don't have static pages, just like they don't have categories on Blogger. It's a really basic, simple, and easy to use site. So for your static page, you have a static box. You know, mine, for example, if you go to my blog, you know, you'll see it says About Me. It'll also have a, a pretty static page on my appearances. And it has a static text box that has people who have given testimonials on doing business and why, they love doing business with me, or the great, result they got from doing business. Those are my static boxes, okay, as separate from my blog. Does that make sense? Good. Okay. So we want to get into some quick tips. And some of these we've covered actually already, but we want to make sure that you actually have all this. Knowing what you want to accomplish. Have a goal. Just like life. Okay. Are you trying to promote your business? Are you trying to establish yourself as an expert in your field? Know what it is that you want to accomplish with your blog. Very, very key. You have to know your audience. Who is your target market? If you're a writer and you're writing sci-fi, you're not going to be looking to promote yourself to people who read nonfiction. Okay, know your audience.
You're going to be actually writing your first post, or a post if you already have a blog. So before you leave today, you'll have something on paper that will have you post. Okay? But before that happens, I'm going to give you a little bit of information. Yeah. So, how do we write great content? The first thing that we have to figure out is who we are and what we want to project to the world. That's the first thing. If we are all over the place, the blog is going to be all over the place and it won't be focused. So, for example, if you are a painter, a visual painter, you're going to blog about what's going on in your town and about your projects. If you are a realtor and you live in Austin, perhaps you're going to blog about Austin as a great place to live. Okay? And there would be a lot to do because Austin has a lot going on in that town. So that would be a good thing to do. You have to figure out, okay, if I want to keep this machine going, what do I need to blog about so I will have enough material? Once you figure that out, then you can go. For example, I blog about writing and networking and artists and book reviews and creativity. Those are all part of my business, different ways. Okay, so, and with my book reviews, I pull people, it's a very giving, so I give book reviews, and then that way I say, here is the book that I've reviewed, I help out the author, usually gives me the book to review, and it goes up there, and then other people are benefited because they see, oh, it's a book I want, or it's a book I don't want. And sometimes it's just the book that I use for book club, and then I promote my own book club through that. So it's a promotion, but there's a lot of content that I give with my blog. Okay. All right. As you go about your day, what sorts of things should you write about? Now that is very personal sometimes about, well, I don't want to write about that, I don't want to write about that. But if it is in your industry, and it is, if it is your business blog, I think it's a lot simpler because you'll be writing about your business, whatever that may be. How do you find out information about your business? Through networking face-to-face events, through the internet, through trade associations, through the business section of the newspaper, through magazines, general magazines, specific magazines. So those are some examples. As you also go about your day, I would have a folder that would be your blog content folder. So if you see something with great content but you don't have time to write a post, throw it in the folder. Throw it in the folder. Okay. Or it could be a little envelope, whatever you want to do. And you can decorate it with stickers if you want to do that. Just make sure, make it feel special and make it feel personal.
One of the things that, for example, with my particular blog, I use it to, put the press releases up that I write for my clients. And it's very focused on that particular area. So I get a lot of posts that are going to be about my clients, the press releases, anything that's related to that. And then I'll also have a section that has marketing and PR tips, because that's what I do. Right, so it all depends on how you use your blog and what you